Everyone. Today we can study about next portion, that is IP security. You have already studied about email security, uh, what are its protocols or what are the standards used. One is PGP and another one is SMI. So next you have to study IP security. Actually, the internet community has developed application-specific security mechanism in a number of application areas, including electronic mail, client server, web access, and others. So, for providing uh, security to protocol layers or internet protocol layers, we had developed IP security. That is, security is implemented at the IP level. That is IP security. Then, what are the application that is used IP security, or the application in which we are using IP security? Actually, this IPSEC or IP security provides the capability of a capability to secure communication across LAN, across private and public WANs, and across the internet. And they provide a secure branch office connectivity over the internet. A company can build a secure virtual private network over the internet. Okay. Also, it can used for securing remote access over the internet, and for establishing extranet and intranet connectivity with the partners, and for enhancing electronic commerce security. That is, even though some web and electronic commerce applications have built-in security protocol that uses IPsec. Okay, so IP security which is provided for the internet protocol. Okay, or internet protocol layers. So the applications of this IPsec that is used for securing branch office or for a company securing, or for securing remote access over the internet, and for establishing an extranet or an intranet connectivity with the partners, and for enhancing the electronic commerce security. So these are the some of the IPsec applications. Okay. Next, why we are using this IPsec? So this figure shows it's a typical scenario of IPsec usage. That is, an organization maintains LANs at dispersed locations. We can see the figure. We have many LANs that is dispersed at different locations. So a non-secure IP traffic is conducted on each LAN. So for providing security, we are implementing some security protocols that is at the network devices or the networking devices such as router or firewall, etc. Actually, these networking devices, they connect each LAN to the outside world. Okay. So this IPsec networking devices will typically encrypt and compress all the traffic going to the WAN, and decrypt and decompose the traffic coming from the WAN, etc. Also, these operations are transparent to workstations and servers on the LANs. Here, a secure transmission is possible with individual users who dial into the WAN. So, such user workstations must implement the IPsec protocols to provide security. So in this figure, you can see that a large number of LANs are dispersed in different locations. So for providing security, we are implementing this IP security protocols at the networking devices, not at the network or LAN. Actually, these LANs are connected to the outside world by using these networking devices. So we provide a security to these networking devices. That is the main usage of this IPsec. Okay. So for that, we can see a data format is the IP header, IPsec header is the secure IP payload. Payload means actually data that is transmitted between the network. That is actually the payload. So we are providing security to the original data by using by implementing some IP security. Okay. So this is a typical scenario for IPsec usage. Next, what are the benefits of IPsec or IP security? So in a firewall or router, they all are networking devices. It provides strong security to all traffic crossing the perimeter. So this firewall or router, which are the networking networking connecting devices, hardware or software. So in that they provide a strong security by using this IPsec. They provide security to all the traffic that crossing the firewall or router. So next benefit is, in a firewall or router, it is resistant to bypass. There is no bypassing mechanism is there. It is resistant to bypass if we provide some IP security protocol in this. Actually, it is below the transport layer, hence it's transparent to applications or users. Okay, so third and fourth point, it is below the transport layer, so they are transparent to applications as well as the end users. Also, it provides security for individual user, and it actually secures the routing architecture. Actually, what is routing? Routing means the way in which the data is transmitted through the network. That routing mechanism or the routing architecture is actually secured by this IPsec protocol. So, we will study IP security. We will already email security or application specific security നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചു. അത് നമ്മൾ ഏത് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനെയാണ് സെക്യൂർ ആക്കുന്നത്? ഇമെയിലിനെ PGPയും SMIMും ഉപയോഗിച്ച്. അതുപോലെ നമുക്ക് ഇമെയിൽ സ്പെസിഫിക് അല്ലാത്ത, അതായത് നമുക്ക് പ്രോട്ടോകോൾ ലെയേഴ്സിന് സെക്യൂരിറ്റി പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ വി ഹാവ് ടു ഇംപ്ലിമെൻറ്റ് സം IP സെക്യൂരിറ്റി പ്രോട്ടോകോൾസ്. സോ അത് നമ്മൾ എവിടെയൊക്കെയാണ് അതിൻ്റെ യൂസേജ്, അതിൻ്റെ ബെനിഫിറ്റ്സ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഇത്രയും പോർഷനിൽ നമ്മൾ നോക്കിയത്. ക്ലിയർ? So main benefits, they provide strong security to firewall or router, and they are transparent to applications and end user, and they provide security to individual user. Also, it's secure routing architecture. Okay. Next one, what is the IP security architecture? Okay. So IPsec specification consists of numerous documents like RFC 2401, RFC 2402, RFC 2406 and 2408. These are all the IPsec documents. So the IP security architecture mainly contains number of documents, or they are known as IPsec specification. And they are mandatory in IPv6 and optional in IPv4. It have two security header extension. One is authentication header and another one is encapsulating security payload. Okay. So IPsec documents, large number of IPsec documents are contained within the IPsec security architecture, and they are mainly mandatory in IPv6, but it is optional in IPv4. For this architecture, we have two security header extensions are there, that is authentication header and encapsulating security payload. They will be attached to the data or payload. Okay. So there are two types of headers in IP security, that is authentication header and encapsulating security payload, ESP. And what are the main IPsec services? Actually, IPsec provides security services at the IP level or IP layer by enabling a system to select the required security protocols. So they provide main two protocols are used for provide security. An authentication protocol, which is designated by the header of the protocol, that is authentication header, and there will be a combined encryption bar authentication protocol, which is actually designated by ESP, encapsulating security payload. So IP security architecture, which contains two headers, are there: authentication header and encapsulating security payload. These two headers, they provide security. So the main IPsec security services includes two protocols. One is authentication protocol and another one is a combined form of encryption bar authentication protocol. And these protocols are designated by using authentication header and ESP, that is encapsulating security payload. And the main services of this IP securities are access control, connectionless integrity, data origin authentication and rejection of replayed packets, confidentiality and limited traffic flow confidentiality. These are all the IPsec services. Okay. Next, we have some IPsec security protocol policies. A security policy is actually applied to each IP packet that transmit from the sources to a destination. So this IPsec policy is determined by using two databases: security association database is there and security policy database is there. So for providing IP security, we are providing some security services that are access control, connectionless integrity, data origin authentication, rejection of replayed packets, confidentiality, and limited traffic flow confidentiality. For providing these all services, we are using a security policy. Okay, for that security policy, we are using two databases. One is security association databases and another one is security policy databases. Then what do you mean by this security association? It is actually a one-way relationship between the sender and the receiver that affords security for traffic flow. So each security association is uniquely identified by three parameters: security parameter index, IP destination address, security protocol identifier, and has also a number of other parameters like sequence number, authentication header, info, lifetime, etc. So for providing IPsec services, we are using a security policy with two databases, SPD and SAD. And what is this security association? It is actually a relationship between the sender and receiver when implementing this IP security. Okay, so this security association has three main parameters, that is security parameter index, IP destination address and security protocol identifier, and has also number of other parameters like sequence number, authentication address, header and lifetime, etc. Okay. So first one is security association databases, which contain all these parameters, that is sequence number, counter, sequence number overflow, anti-replay window, AH information, ESP information, lifetime of the security association, and the IPsec protocol modes and path MTU. All these are the parameters or the arguments that is present within the security association databases. And the security policy databases, which contains or which provides good flexibility and also that needs in discriminating between the traffic that needs IPsec protection and that is allowed to bypass IPsec, etc. So this security policy databases, SPD entry called selectors, they are used to filter outgoing traffic for a particular security association. So security association databases, which contains a number of parameters like sequence number counter, sequence number overflow, anti-replay window, AH information, ESP information, lifetime, IPsec protocol mode and path MTU. And in SPD, which contains some selectors, they are used for filtering outgoing traffic for a particular security association. So this security policy database selectors has different parameters like destination IP address, source IP address, user ID, next layer protocol, IPv6 extension, source and destination ports. So these are all the parameters that is associated with the selectors that is present in the security policy database. Okay. Then this is an IP traffic processing like outbound packets. So outbound IP packets are coming into the network and it search for the security policy database. If there is no matches found, it is discarded. Otherwise, it determines the policy. If we need a protection, then protect by using by using some security association. Or if there is no need of protection, then it will bypass. Then this forward this packet via IP. If there is a need of protection, then first it search with the security association database. If it match found, then process. If it is AH or ESP, by using the mechanism, we can process that packet. Otherwise, if there is no matches found, then looking for the internet key exchange, again it will reach back to, or it will be revert back to searching of the security association database. Okay, so this is an IP traffic processing for an outbound packet. Then if there is an IP traffic processing for inbound packets, so first packet types are inbound IP packets are coming from the internet. Then it will look at for the packet type. If it is IP or IPSEC, that means what is actually IP and IPSEC. If the packet type is IP, there is no security is provided that, but the packet type is IPSEC, so we have to provide a security for these packets. Okay, so if this is IP, that is search for security policy database. If there is a need of bypass, so bypass to deliver packet to higher layers, or otherwise discard the packet. Then if it is a IPSEC packet type, search for the security association database. So if there is a match found, then that will process and deliver the packet to higher layer. Otherwise, if there is no matches found, and discard the packet. So these are all about how the IP traffic processing is happen for the inbound packet and outbound packet. So these are all about the introduction part of the IP security. Okay, in next video we can move on to the original IP security architecture, what are its IPSEC documentation, and what are its two modes of operation like tunnel mode and transport mode. All should be studied in detail in next video. Thank you.